What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to Nerdwide Podcast. This is episode 39. I'm your host, Tyler Haynes, with my favorite co host, Mr. Chris Rivers. And listen, I got to say right now, with the Madden 22 background back there on the PlayStation, looks really good.
Oh,
I'm just
that.
going to go
Yeah, let's
ahead and
slide it up a
preface it.
little bit.
But, um,
Yeah.
Chris, how's your week been, man?
Uh, Pretty good. Last week I had to work a little overtime, and this
Right.
week we got out of it. So I had a full weekend.
Oh, good. I'm glad you enjoyed
I
the extra
uh,
weekend then.
I enjoyed as well the shows and film that we had to watch.
Oh, good. I'm excited about those
So
too.
and I gamed a little bit with Madden since it's just come out.
That's always fun. I know because I don't have a lot of time throughout the week to play video games because my schedule the way it is. I get off work and I've got a couple hours and I go to sleep for wake up early for the gym and everything.
Hmm.
And so this weekend actually all day Saturday I gamed just from I think it was whenever I got home from the gym, maybe 10 o'clock on, just gamed the whole time. So we'll talk about what I played here in a minute and then watch the film, gamed a little bit more, and then gamed some on Sunday and then caught up on like The Bachelor in Paradise and some fun
See, you
shows.
have better self-control than I do because if I sat there all day at a computer where I could just reach over and grab a controller.
Yeah,
I
it's
would,
it's hard,
yeah,
especially when
I'd,
you
I'd,
all your new people are playing these new games like War for Wakanda, like the little
hmm
the party with Greg Miller and everything was on Monday, and they were talking about it, and then Tuesday happened and it dropped, and I even mentioned to one of my buddies on Twitter. I said it's real hard today, just looking over and seeing my PlayStation because here's my work setup, and then my PlayStation, Xbox
right,
right here. So it's very hard. I am not going to lie to you. So,
yeah.
but it is what it is. Quick housekeeping, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube or podcasting services of your choice. If you enjoy the show, make sure you leave a thumbs up on YouTube or give us a good rating on your podcasting apps. If you don't enjoy what you see or hear, leave us a comment and let us know what we're doing wrong and what we can improve on. If you don't, we don't know how to improve it, so that's just how that works. If you want to go the extra mile, you can always go to patreon.com/nerdwine to drop a couple bucks monthly there if you feel so inclined to do so.
Or, or we're gonna start an OnlyFans, and you can.
Did you see all the
You,
stuff with it this week?
oh, I did, yeah.
Hmm.
But I thought that'd be a good way for us to earn money too.
Yeah, well, you never know what could happen in the future. Chris, what you been watching on TV this week? Anything fun?
Mainly what we had to watch. I did not get a chance to check out two things I really wanted to, which were the Val Kilmer documentary
Mm-hmm.
and the Paul McCartney Rick Rubin documentary.
I need to put that on
Um, so I missed out on watching those. Um, so it was really just what we planned to watch for the show
here. I
this week.
know. I'm trying to think. I don't think I watched anything outside the normal. I've been. Oh, we're caught up on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Like we're even caught up with the episodes that's been aired. Um, and we started Bachelor in Paradise, which is a very adult show, if you will. Very I don't know the word. There's a word for it. I just don't want to say it on the podcast, but it is what it is.
Mm,
Um,
mm.
and Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I'm in season 8 now. They're about to start. They're filming season 15, so I'm almost caught up. I mean, they're very short seasons. It's a very different show. Just trying to watch
Yeah.
some of that, and
Well,
then
the seasons are about as tall as Danny DeVito.
yeah,
So
he is funny. I mean, I love
yeah,
everybody
yes,
on the cast.
yeah.
I mean, and then our normal stuff. I watched a little bit of preseason football with the Steelers and Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
Watched a
Mm-hmm.
little bit of the Titans this week as well. Trying to. I know this week's gonna be very gaming heavy. There's 3 conferences I'll be paying it. Well, I guess you call them conferences. I'll be paying attention to this week. So
Right.
that's gonna take a lot of my TV watching time or peripheral watching time while I'm sitting here working. But
Did uh did you ever have to, this is somewhat off topic. Did you ever have to read the story in school, The Most Dangerous Game?
I don't think so.
It's the basis. You might remember the Stone Cold Steve Austin film, The Condemned, that came out a few years back? Um, no.
No.
So the basis of the story is there's a hunter who's tired of hunting
Yeah, he hunts humans,
animals
right?
yeah, he hunts humans and he has these people brought in and I think the premise even in the book is if you can survive, you get to live
I think I've
and leave.
read that then. That sounds like something I read.
Um, every time, no offense, but every time I hear people talk about like The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, I keep hoping that they'll do that with the contestants at some point and
Instead
just
of a
like,
rose.
okay, that's like the new reality show.
Yeah. It's wouldn't that be fun? What a world we
It
live in to
would
get
be.
back to them. It'd be like the
I
Hunger
don't
Games.
understand. I don't understand the point of some of those shows though, because they go all the way to the end, and some of them don't even make a decision.
Mm-mm. I know the
Well, what?
Bachelorette. We finally watched the season finale for it, and your normal decision was made, and the couple is still together now. However many months since the filming actually ended, and then we've been, the Bachelor in Paradise though is mainly a hookup show. Like some people do find love and get married and stuff, but it's all about the drama. It's just trashy
Isn't it
reality
bad
TV.
though? Isn't it bad though that when someone on The Bachelor or Bachelorette, like when one of those couples makes it until the finale has actually aired, everybody's like, "Oh wow, look how long they've made it so far."
Right. It's dude, it's trust me, I love trashy reality TV.
That's not a high bar.
It's fun, man. You just have to get in that mindset of it. There was a TikTok that my wife and I shared around to our friends of day one of your husband watching your TV shows or something like that, and he's like, "Oh man, this is so stupid. I just don't get it." And it says day 30 of it, watching it, and he's like all into it. He's got a wine glass talking about it. I said, "This I've never felt so seen in my life." It's just fun. Let's listen,
Mm,
Chris. Let's get into what everyone's here for, and that is
yeah.
our three shows we watched this week. Of course, we're going to start off with Superman and Lois, The Last Sons of Krypton, the season finale, and then we'll go into What If T'Challa Became a Star Lord, and then our last one, Titans Episode 4, Black Fire. But first, full spoilers on. Spoilers tag is up. If you did not watch Superman and Lois or any of these shows, this is the time to skip around until you get into the news section and the movie review as well. So, Superman and Lois, The Last Sons of Krypton, directed by Tom Cavanaugh. Chris, what did you think of the season finale? Did it live up to the hype that you were thinking it was going to?
This episode and the last episode were the two best episodes since they went to the first break.
Right.
Um, the whole second half of the season before these two episodes was just, I don't know. I don't really have a word for it. And this episode, I felt delivered.
Yeah.
You know, it came through with a lot of things. It left us with a nice cliffhanger, right? Um, is it Natasha or Natalie?
I think it's both, but he calls her. I know he calls her Nat.
Yeah,
Because Steel, so she is a superhero in the Superman and Lois
yeah.
universe. Um,
Hmm.
Steel, Superman and Lois.
But anyway, while you verify it, that scene at the end when she realizes who she's looking at, and she's like, "Mom,"
Oh,
it's it's gonna set up some
Natalie.
problems because yeah, because she's gonna be she's probably just gotten adjusted from having seen her mom killed.
Mm-hmm.
And now here she is reunited with her dad, and there stands someone who looks just like her mom.
With a whole family, a whole different family.
A whole different family.
Nonetheless, Superman
And
though, maybe.
Lois is getting thrown for a spin because as we found out episodes ago, she was going to name the daughter that she miscarried
Mm-hmm.
Natalie. So she kind of sees this as her lost daughter.
Right.
This is going to be crazy for season 2 at launch.
So, as far as the finale goes, it wasn't well the cliffhanger. I was expecting a little bit more of a cliffhanger.
Mm,
Um, this one didn't really do it for me until I started researching a little bit and finding out that his daughter is actually a superhero. Is a superhero Steel. I don't know why I never made that connection. Because she's an injustice, and it just wasn't big enough for me. It leaves me a lot of questions because the multiverse is done. How was she still alive? And how does
hmm
she get here? When John Henry Irons comes over, it's kind of plausible to me. He was somehow got transported during the crisis, but I don't understand how she makes it. Maybe they'll explain that, but it just kind of puts a big hole in the multiverse crisis, the
Right.
whole setup for that. Now, as far as the finale goes, I really enjoyed it. I thought you were going to get what you were predicting of Kyle dying, but turns out
Came close.
yeah, he came real close to that. Um, the the citizens are a bunch of idiots, but then again, we see what's going on in
Yeah.
our world today, and it's very, it makes a lot of sense. I
What
thought we got,
about the glare? What about the glare from Lana to the mayor?
oh, I loved it. That's going to play into more of season two. They set a lot of things up for
Yeah.
season two.
Yeah.
Especially like with the relationship with Jonathan and that one, his love interest, Jordan and Sarah. And I
hmm
really thought that we were going to get a confrontation of because they made a point to make sure we knew that she was looking at Superman and Lois when they were in the tent with talking to the general. And she was asking about
hmm
Jordan. Like they made sure to make it known to us that she was looking at them. So I really thought we were going to get a why didn't your dad is Superman? Why didn't you tell me that kind of scenario? And it would make sense. I really thought we were going to get that.
That scene, I think it's the very last time we see them when they hug.
Mm-hmm.
The way that the camera, it started with her. The camera kind of lingered on her, and I thought we were going to see like the smile disappear and her with this very serious look and like she's up to something.
Mm-hmm.
But then it went to him. It goes to Jordan's face, and I kept waiting for his eyes to
Yep.
open and
Jamie said the
for him
same
to
thing.
still be glowing red
Yep.
because I was like, it's not over.
Right.
Something's gonna happen, and they didn't do it.
Yeah.
They left it with the feel good moment.
I really thought we were going to get Jonathan's powers this episode. Never happened. So we still have that to look forward to in season two. Um, and so Jordan technically can fly now because when mm, I don't know if it's real or if it's just a lingering effect from Zeta Rho in his body, but when he had Jonathan up, and they kind of glided down. So I don't know if he can fly or if that's just a residual thing from Zeta.
Or could it be a like a he's stressed and so he did it without thinking?
Yeah,
His body just did what it needed to.
yeah. I mean, there's a lot that left for interpretation this episode.
hmm
The general retiring, I thought was. I'm curious to see how that goes. John Henry Irons obviously is staying in Smallville. His daughter is confirmed for a regular in season two. So we're
Yeah.
to see how that whole family dynamic works in with this season. I'm excited for the
The
next season. So
the Kents own half of the Gazette.
yeah, which I can't stand that Chrissy character. I'm just gonna be honest. I just cannot stand her, and I don't think she brings anything to the show. But whatever. And then the whole the whole town attacking the general, which is exactly what would happen in America today, just kind of cracked me
hmm
up. They said, did you really even capture? What are you here to keep us safe from? And then Morgan Edge pops up, and I was like, yeah, that. That's what you get.
Yeah.
The fight scenes are really good. I don't feel like there was a lot of Superman this episode though.
No.
It was a lot more
He was
of
in the
the fight.
suit.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
not a whole lot of Superman. But it is what it is. I thought John Henry Irons was going to die this episode. I didn't think he was going to get caught. I thought that was going to be his whole arc, but I guess we've still got more to do with him. Obviously, with his daughter being here
On
and
him joining the DOD.
joining, yeah, the DoD. Did he confirm that he took that job? I know he was offered it.
I, I think he did. I think he did because yeah, because the general says something about retiring, and I thought his response to that was kind of jokingly like, "Oh, you know, nothing to do with me" or something like
Right.
that. Did he not? Did I imagine that? Am I going crazy?
Yeah. I
Uh,
know they had that conversation, but I don't. It
but
was not that important to me.
I
I guess.
wonder if I wonder if because of the tech he has and his experience in this, if they'll just put him over
Yeah.
that same unit.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm just ready for it to actually get here now. But now we have to wait.
Yeah,
Hopefully, we can get past this little bit in the pandemic, and we won't have to take any breaks from Superman and Lois next
right.
season because that really killed everything. The I actually enjoyed the arc of the Lana Lang family. Actually enjoyed that.
Hmm.
Still don't understand how Lana doesn't realize that Clark is Superman. I will never. As many times as she's seen Clark, as many times she's seen Superman at this point, I don't really get it. She's talking about her best
Well,
friend still, and I'm like, oh, come on.
the voice, right?
Yeah,
Because it doesn't change.
no, just put two and two
You know.
together. But
Yeah.
or maybe she has, and she's just in denial. Who knows?
Or she's just not saying anything out of.
Yeah,
He'll tell me when he's ready.
right. Be one of those scenarios. I thought that it'd been a good season or a good point to let that whole family know that he was Superman, just from
Yeah.
everything they've been through. But who knows?
Hmm.
So, Superman and Lois: Last Sons of Krypton, directed by Tom Cavanaugh, by the way. Our old Harrison
Very good
Wells.
job.
Yeah, he always does great. I'm glad he did this. All right, Chris, let's talk about my
Hmm.
favorite episode so far of What If T'Challa
All
became
two
a
of
Star
them
Lord.
to
All
there.
two of them, yeah. This one I really enjoyed. The ending bit got me when they did the little.
Uh huh.
This is because this was Chadwick Boseman's last MCU role
Yeah.
or project, really, and it hurt. Hearing his voice and everything, I just loved it. And then hearing the Wakanda sounds, oh, just absolutely loved it. This was a very fun episode to me to actually see. What if um, Yondu picked up T'Challa instead of what's his name?
Peter.
Yeah, Peter. And I thought they did a really well done job with this. We had everyone from Guardians pretty much in it. We had Drax, which of course was not played by Dave Batista. He made that very vocally known. We talked about that last week.
It, it
Um,
sounded similar.
yeah, sounded similar, but wasn't him. Was never asked. I mean, we had, but everybody was back though. Besides that, I feel like we always have one person who is not who it really is every episode.
Mhm.
I'm trying to see. I'm looking at the cast now. Was that? Oh, they don't have them. They don't have the character of
Who?
Peter Quill. They don't have him listed as a cast at all. So at the very end of the episode, we saw Peter
That's
Quill.
odd.
Yeah. So who knows?
I would assume so because that was really Kurt Russell
Mm-hmm.
voicing Ego.
Ego.
So if you're gonna go to the expense to bring Kurt Russell in, you're gonna bring Chris Pratt
Right.
in.
So, but I enjoyed this one. It was fun. It was a nice little variation. And I thought this was like a good what if story. A lot of people
Hmm.
really enjoyed what if Peggy became Captain America. I really enjoyed this one. This one was more my speed. Now next week I'm very curious to see what they do with it because it's supposed to be what if Loki stayed on Earth, which
Right.
when is that really? Um, but this one was fun. Had Josh Brolin. Thanos was a part of the Guardians. I thought that was really cool. Um, the
The
Black Widow was
Collector
against
was
him
the big
still.
bad.
Yeah, the Collector being a main bad. I thought that was fun. I just really enjoyed this one. It was very fun.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It was, and the the voice talent, Benicio del Toro came
Mm-hmm.
back as the Collector. Um, they're doing really, really well with this show, and the animation is probably my
Oh,
favorite
it's
part.
absolutely beautiful.
I love the animation. Um, yeah, this one kind of tugs at your heartstrings with Chadwick Boseman
Mm-hmm.
being gone now. Um, it was an interesting story. It was action packed. Um, Howard the Duck makes an
Yep,
appearance,
Seth Green.
which is which is fantastic. Uh,
Cosmo the Cosmic
but
Donkey as well.
yeah, this episode, did we grade Peggy Carter
Mm-mm.
or no? I
No, we didn't
think I
grade it.
think we just kind of talked about it. For me, Peggy Carter probably came in at like a solid B plus.
Yeah.
This one was probably more like A minus to A.
Mm-hmm.
I did like this one more. Um, and I think it was mainly because it went so many different directions. Um,
I didn't want the story to end. Any of them.
no, they could have stretched this out to an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the first one, and we brought this up when we talked about it with the Peggy Carter episode. It was basically Captain America: The First Avenger with the role reversal.
Mm-hmm.
There were some things that changed, like Red Skull being killed, um, things like that. But this just felt like its own thing,
Right.
its own what if. And of course, Michael Rooker was back as Yondu, and it's always fun when he's involved. Just the vocal
Mm-hmm.
inflections and how he performs is really fun. So yeah, this I think this will be my favorite of the first three.
Right. I think that's
The
where I'm leaning to because
the
we don't know
Loki
anything about Loki.
episode, right? And we just got a live series Loki, so we probably could have stood to have waited
Mm-hmm.
2 or 3 more weeks on a Loki episode. But
It's already
yeah,
fresh.
this was yeah,
I think
good one.
I know for sure I loved T'Challa's Star Lord outfit a whole lot. Like that
Mhm.
black and gold and just very sleek. And the way he was famous and everything, like wearing this, the Guardians, they're not famous. And everyone knows
No.
Star Lord. Everyone wants to be a part of his team. And I thought it was very cool because, Thanos wasn't the big bad. I mean, he's with the team and how they played on it. No one's really caring about the Infinity Stones because that's how it starts off with T'Challa
Right.
taking an Infinity Stone, and no one really even cares
Yeah.
about him. And he's more of a Robin Hood character than anything,
Right.
and that was
Yeah.
cool.
And the way that they kept it was like a running gag for Thanos throughout the episode where it was like, my plan still was would have
Right?
worked.
And
It
everyone's
was
like, "No,
still a good
that's
plan.
genocide."
And what was the character's name? He was supposed to kill Star Lord, but he's a big fanboy of Star Lord's,
Korath.
so he can't do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he keeps calling Thanos Captain Genocide and all.
He was getting very upset about it. I mean, Josh Brolin was back. I mean, everyone was their character besides Drax, and
Yeah.
I just thought that was so much fun. I just
Yeah.
that I completely forgot about the running gag because that lasted the whole movie. Even when they got back to Wakanda, when
Hmm.
Okoye is like, no, no, that's genocide. He goes, but it's completely random genocide. I was just laughing. It's just so good. Like just the whole Marvel setup, and you know how they always do with their humor, with seriousness, and just thought that
Uh-huh.
was fun.
Well, and even Nebula's reaction, right? Because she overhears him talking. It might have been that at that point. He's talking about it, and she's like, "Oh,
Right? She's rolling her
'cause
eyes,
he
and because he's always
he
talking about
keeps,
it.
yeah, that was his plan." And
Because it would have been completely random. It's not genocide. Oh man, I'm good. So next week is Loki and the what if Loki stayed on Earth? Very curious about that one. So we'll see how that comes about. And then our last show, of course, is DC's Titans. This one is titled Blackfire. She is finally in the show.
Mhm.
Um, this week, to me, I enjoyed it. I felt like it was a little bit of the lull in the series, besides the maybe last 10, 15 minutes, especially
Right.
the Red Hood and Nightwing fight. It was so well choreographed and really well done. And then having the helicopter spotting them through the forest and seeing that from a bird's eye view. Um, Now we've got Dr. Crane and
Hmm.
Scarecrow loose again, of course, because, why not? And
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see what comes of that. Dawn is in France, mourning, pulling the trigger. Superboy having the issues dealing with it, and Beast Boy essentially being his character because he's always wanting to be friends with people and be there for people, and getting
Right.
burnt by two of them, Superboy and Starfire in this episode, especially with Superboy
Yes.
and
Starfire keeps kicking his butt.
yeah,
It's just
finding him in the trunk was so funny. I was like, oh, well, maybe nothing happened. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, he's in the trunk
with a black eye.
with the black guy. And um, find out that the government is assigning one person to guard certain, extraterrestrial species that are a threat to the world,
Hmm.
just in random bunkers and fields. Um, Blackfire being released, I feel like is going to be our problem because we do know she's the big bad this season, along with Red Hood. So I'm curious to see how
You think?
she comes about.
Do you think we get a team up there?
I see it happening for a little bit until we realize that she can't be trusted, and she's just going to
Yeah.
be killing people left and right. I feel like
Yeah.
so. We'll see what happens though. What did you think of the episode?
Um, I liked it. Like you, it kind of it dragged early on a little bit. It was like the fallout of um Hawk's death, and then
Still hurts, by the way.
also also just laying the groundwork for what they're setting up next.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're through the Red Hood stuff as far as the initial impact he's going to make, and now they've got to set up Black um, Blackfire and also bring Red Hood back into the picture
Mm-hmm.
to deal with him over the course of the season. So it did have a little bit of a lull. I thought I had seen in a preview or something that we were gonna see Raven again,
Not this episode.
but it didn't happen.
Yeah.
So I can't help but think that the way that they're going to defeat Red Hood and Blackfire this year is going to involve Raven and Donna.
Yeah. I can't wait for both of them to come back though.
It's got to happen, right? I mean,
If you
you'll
notice,
have the
she's talked about
Titans
every
fully
episode.
reunited.
Raven
Yeah.
is. So they're making sure we're not
Hmm.
forgetting about her.
Yep.
So.
It's like remember this character.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Uh, I'm curious though what we're gonna see from Superboy as this goes on, because he's still not right
Mm-mm. Battling with the
from
whole
Hawk's
Lex
death.
Luthor part of himself is what he's doing.
Yeah, and so you wonder if he'll be that almost like a linchpin where he's gonna drift away from the Titans,
Mm-hmm.
and he'll be one of those that comes back by the end of the year, because he's just he can't handle it.
No.
He views it as that part of himself failed, because that's what Lex Luthor does ultimately, right? Is he fails,
Right.
and yeah,
And Beast
but
Boy's not a
it's a really
therapist,
good
so
performance,
I'm
right?
I'm excited because I can see that happening with Superboy. Because I wonder if we'll get we've already seen Batman. I wonder if we'll get a Superman and him training Superboy, like
Mm,
kind of how we've got with Raven, right, and Donna. Like both of them are off on an island and they're there but not there. You know what I mean? I wonder if we'll get that next
right.
season where it's Superboy's doing that with Superman, and he's trying to control his powers and be better. But who knows? I'm just curious if
I
they'll actually do it.
really wish, I really wish that they would loop this into the Arrowverse.
Wouldn't that be nice and have Tyler Hoechlin in the show?
Uh-huh.
But then again, with Supergirl, well, not Supergirl, Superman and Lois, we had a whole Kryptonian invasion, 2 episodes now, and Supergirl's not even once
Well,
mentioned. So,
e even if they didn't use Tyler Hoechlin, right? If you had Melissa Benoist show up
right.
as Supergirl to say, "Look, I struggled with this same stuff. You're not going to be able to save everybody.
Hmm.
You know, you just have to do the best job you can do and be satisfied with that."
Right. Well,
And
I don't know. I just,
come on, Greg Berlanti, make it happen.
there's so much in this show that is they can do. I mean, with Titans, there's so many story arcs you can do. I mean, you've got so many characters thrown into one. And nonetheless, with right back to Nightwing and Red Hood has not won a fight yet uh,
Right.
between those duos. And what cracks me up is every episode now they bring up the Deathstroke and the role that it had with Robin and the team and everything
Uh-huh.
like that, and how the PTSD and all that's struggling from that because they brought it up with Dr. Crane talking about it. So
Yeah.
I mean, we still have
But
the daughter of Deathstroke that hasn't been in the show this whole season yet either.
yeah, I did love the scene in the cabin between Crane and Dick,
Mm-hmm.
where um he's telling him the story about when Bruce turned him loose in the woods
Yeah.
and told him, you have to face your fear. And he comes back before the night's up, and the wolves that he was afraid of, he chopped one of their heads
Yeah.
off and he throws it on the table.
The quote was
And he's
so
just
good
like,
on that thing.
it's like, yeah,
He said, "Oh,
yeah.
I've already proven myself." He said, "I was just proving that the
He's
wolf should have been afraid of me." It's like, "Oh, okay, buddy,
hmm
take it easy." Dr.
yeah.
Crane did the same thing too.
I think that's when Crane knew, like, time for joking around and the humor
Yeah,
that was up.
this guy really means business. So,
Hmm.
and the fact that he already knew who he was, like he was Nightwing and Robin before, because Jason Todd has told him everything. I thought that was very
Right.
interesting how they're playing all that in. But so that's fun.
Yeah.
I'm excited for this series, and I mean, I very much have been. We both have been. So I'm curious to see where it
Hmm.
goes, and I can't wait to see where it goes. Honestly.
Yeah.
Um,
And I'm also curious, real quick, if we'll finally get another crossover between Titans and Doom Patrol, because Doom Patrol kicks off on the 23rd of September, I think,
yeah, because that's coming up
and
in a month.
Titans should still be airing. So I wonder if they filmed anything.
Mm, good crossovers. I love them. Uh, Real quick, I've taken the spoilers tag off everything. So I watched Stargirl as well this week with Green Lantern. Very well
Hmm.
done how they did it. The visual effects were great. No John Diggle or mention of
No,
or anything
John.
yet. So we'll see what happens. Uh, but we've got a new member of the team, and I'm telling you, the special effects they did for this season and this episode were really well done, and they have to be for a Green Lantern character. So I'm telling you, people are sleeping on this show, and they need to watch it. So it's a good one. All right, we've got 2 news stories this week in TV. Nothing too crazy, but this first one actually kind of cracked me up. Owen Wilson admits he doesn't know a ton about the MCU. I'm going to uproxx.com for this one by Mike Redman. Owen Wilson admits his superhero knowledge mostly involves some very on point thoughts on Aquaman. So if that just going ahead and
Oh,
throw it up there. So he had an interview with Esquire this week, and of course they talked about Loki. He says, "I don't know a ton about." I'm talking about the MCU. "I don't know a ton about it, but I know. Actually, yeah, I probably don't know that much about it. I kind of know about Iron Man. I've seen Aquaman. He's swimming in jeans. No one can swim in jeans. That was my argument with the kids about Aquaman." Huh.
all right. All right, Owen.
We're gonna need you to catch up. At least your kids need to sit down and make you watch all these movies so you know what you're a part
Yeah.
of. But I just thought that was absolutely hilarious when that quote came out. I said, "That sounds like an Owen Wilson quote."
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that he's in the MCU and don't know the whole lore of it, but to bring in Aquaman into it, okay, all right, buddy. And speaking of
But but
MCU,
is that
go ahead.
is that Owen Wilson kind of playing up a gimmick, right?
That's true.
Like
It could be.
maybe he, yeah.
He's got kids, and they've been because if he says he's been joking with his kids about him, you can't. Oh wow, you can't swim in pants. Just wow, that's crazy. Um, so, and speaking of MCU, sorry, that was real bad. the, apparently, the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer leaked. Not Far From Home, No Way
Mm.
Home leaked yesterday, Sunday, and overnight on like a very 420p pixelated camera phone somehow, some way. So be looking to see that within the next day or two, the actual HD version of it. So, and Kevin
I'd not
Feige
heard
is
about
already
that.
putting an internal investigation to find out who leaked it. I guarantee it.
Well, it could have been Tom Holland.
So Tom Holland actually
He,
took to
he
Instagram and put on his story, "You haven't seen anything yet." Is all it says. Black picture. You haven't seen anything yet. So
and the thing is though, this is the sort of thing that I don't know. Was it a leak?
mm,
Because what better attention can you get for a trailer drop than, oh, this leaked. You guys aren't supposed to be seeing this yet. Don't go to the internet and watch this. This isn't the way we want you to see it.
well, I think it's called CinemaCon that's supposed to happen today, where
Hmm.
Marvel is at, and Kevin Feige and Tom Holland and everything is at. So it was supposed to be. They always do it this way. I don't know why for Spider-Man movies, but they show it to an audience beforehand, and then it's supposed to be like a week or two later. It comes out to the public. So everyone's
Right.
thinking that they were getting ready for it today, and someone recorded it, and now it's just going to have to become available to the world, which I've always hated that. Oh, I got shown to X amount of people. I've always hated that. Just show the world. No one. We don't need that. You've already proven that this show is in this movie is a beloved
Right.
franchise. So
But I still kind of look at it like the supposed leak is going to have a lot more people talking
mhm.
than would have been had just that room full of people seen it
Bad press is good press.
and no one leaked it. So maybe it's a planned leak.
Yeah, it
Um,
could be. I wouldn't put it past it. Did you see the Eternal trailers? Eternal trailer, the most recent one,
uh, maybe
because it's
thinking.
the. I wasn't very big on the Eternals, but this most recent trailer, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm in. I'm in for this. So
I must not have seen it then, because
it's
I'm still not very big on the Eternals.
oh yeah, you need to watch this trailer then. News story number two. We've got Pedro Pascal is making $600,000 per episode of The Last of Us. We're going to
What?
GameSpot.com by Eddie Makic. Hollywood news site
Pedro,
Variety
I need a
has a
loan.
new report out that breaks down the salaries for some of the highest profile TV roles, and included on the list are two names that have a connection to gaming. The report reveals how much money Pedro Pascal is making to play Joel at HBO's The Last of Us and the fee that Henry Cavill is apparently getting for Netflix's The Witcher. We'll put both of these together. According to the report, which is based on estimates provided by sources to the website, Pascal is being paid $600,000 per episode to appear in The Last of Us. There are 10 episodes in all, so he stands to make $6 million in total from this. Now, that's a pre tax and before paying agent fees and other costs he might incur, but still a big baseline payday.
Pedro, you were the best part of Wonder Woman 1984. Look, man, I could use a little bit of a loan. Make that check payable to
Just however you want to make it payable to, I'll take it. As for Cavill, the report says he's making $400,000 per episode of The Witcher. The first season had 8 episodes, and the second will have 8 as well. Assuming Cavill is paid $400,000 per episode in both seasons, he'll be making $6.4 million total.
Yeah, but he's got to do 2 seasons to do what Pedro's doing in one.
Yeah, so far.
Cavill needs a new agent.
Well, it depends on how big The Last of Us. Well, and two different services as well. So one's on Warner Brothers money, one's on Netflix money.
I'm gonna call him Hank. Hank, contact Tyler and I. We can get you a better
Yeah,
deal, man.
we'll make
That
it. We'll get you some good money.
yeah.
Releases this week, Tuesday, August 24th. The Supergirl starts back again for its final season from their break. Wednesday, August 25th, American Horror Story double feature premieres on Fox.
Yeah.
The same day, Wednesday, August 25th, Archer premieres on Fox as well. The
Now
new
wait,
season,
are these Fox or are
or
these
FX.
FX? Okay.
FX for
I
American
didn't know
Horror
if they
Story,
moved.
Archer's FXX. So,
Okay.
and then Friday, August 27th, Jason Momoa's C season 2 premieres on Apple TV Plus.
See. Oh, you're waiting on me 'cause it's movie time.
Yep, it's
Have
movie
you
time.
watched anything other than our main movie?
No, I really want, like you. I want to
No.
watch that Val Kilmer movie or documentary. I've got it. I've
Yeah.
had to make a list on my phone of things I've said I want to watch that I'm actually going to that I need to watch, and I had to put it on there during this episode.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna be one of those things that's I think it's gonna be interesting, but I also think it's gonna be hard to watch at times.
Yeah.
You know. All right. So this week we watched Netflix's Extraction, starring Chris Hemsworth. Um, so basic plot rundown here is Hemsworth, former military. He specializes in going in and getting people out of situations when no one else seemingly can.
Mm-hmm. He's a
Um,
mercenary.
we're in we're in India, and there is a kidnapped boy, and his father employs a man who is supposed to basically be the bodyguard of the boy,
Mm-hmm.
right? But he goofed. The kid snuck out. Um, and he puts him in charge of getting some help to get the kid back. The guy tells his wife the and I, what's the name of the character?
Sanju or
The Sanju.
mm-hmm.
The yeah, the guy that so Sanju tells his wife, it's like he doesn't have the money
Yeah.
to pay anybody to do this, which makes you wonder what this guy's working for
Well,
because
he's working in fear now.
but so his plan is to get this extraction team in there with the promise of money and then double cross them and get the kid back.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't really succeed.
No.
Hemsworth goes in, he gets the kid, everything's going smooth, but the payment never comes in. He realizes his team's getting picked off, and the rest of the film is Hemsworth and the kid trying to survive until we get to the end of the movie.
Yeah. I've got the spoilers
When
tag. This movie's been out for
okay,
a year now, I think, or
yeah,
close to. So
it
it's fine.
came
I got
out.
the spoilers tag up.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it came out 2020.
So basically, they get to it. They beat the crap out of each other. First of all, this poor guy's got a broken nose. Sanju's got a broken nose. It's going like 6 different directions. He straightens it out, and blood just falls out of his
Mm-hmm.
nose. It's
Brutal, and I
fun
love
scene
it.
to watch. But they end up realizing Hemsworth basically just drops a bag of weapons in front of the guy and is like, "I just want the kid to be safe.
Yeah.
You know, I, I'm not trying to kidnap him. I'm not holding him for the money. I just want him to be safe." And so then they start trying to work to get the kid to safety, and um, it does happen, but
With a lot of sacrifice.
a lot of sacrifice. Sanju's dead. Hemsworth character dies, or does he?
I'll have
We
something to
don't
talk about
know.
here in a minute when we get there.
Um, but what's left of Hemsworth his team flies in on a helicopter, and they get the kid off this bridge where the final scene takes place. Um, you see the kid later on. He's at a swimming pool somewhere. I
Same
wondered if they
school.
just took him back to America.
No, it's the same school.
Huh?
It's the same school he was at.
Same school? So he's well, that seems safe.
Yeah, that's
Um,
that's big problem with that movie.
so they rescued him. He's jumping off a diving board. He jumps into the water and replicates what Hemsworth does early in the movie. Early in the movie, Hemsworth jumps off a cliff. He
Very
wakes
high.
up from being drunk. Yeah, this one guy's talking like, "Oh, it's 30 meters down." Hemsworth just walks off the
Just
side of the cliff and
jumps.
just it didn't even look like he jumped. It looked like he just kind of walked off and went
Right, just fell
straight
right on down.
down. He goes right to the bottom and kind of sits with his legs crossed. And it's almost as if he's contemplating just taking that deep breath
Mm-hmm.
and killing himself because he's thinking about his child that he lost, who we find out later was a young son who died of leukemia.
Yep.
Um, but the kid replicates this in the pool, which is weird because he never sees Hemsworth
Yeah, I
do
never knew
this.
anything about it. So,
Yeah, that
so
was crazy.
to me, I enjoyed this film. I like these action-packed, kind of like war movies. I thought this was a nice twist on taking it not into like Afghanistan or anything. We're actually in India and Bangladesh and seeing the country that way. I hate when filmmakers and directors and stuff use that sepia tone to portray
Yeah,
somewhere else. I'm like, it does not look like that over there. I don't know why people think like, especially from Mexico, everyone always does it. And I'm like, it does not look like that there. I don't know why people. I don't know what the Russo brothers were trying to portray, but um,
yeah,
thought it was funny that Chris Hemsworth didn't have to put on an accent for this movie; just got to talk normal and act normal. And I thought the action scenes were so much fun. There were a lot of things I didn't expect. They were really well choreographed. The one scene, I don't know if you noticed it, where they used one shot. The whole like two or three scenes was so well done.
hmm,
And we were sitting there watching it, and I was like, that is so good and really good, and like just really well done. Like I
yeah.
wonder how many times they actually shot that because the way that they had to just do a one shot. I love it when people do that with no cuts. Now, as far as the ending goes, I had to Google it because we had one of our couple friends over here watching it with us, and we were all like, "Was that Chris Hemsworth at the end?" And I was like, "Yes, it is." And they were like, "No, it doesn't really look like him." So I Googled it, of course, and I go to Collider.com, and this is by Adam Chitwood. Where he interviewed Sam Hargrave, the director, and quote he said because he was asking about what happened. He says, "What you
Hmm.
see in the movie is a compromise because a lot of us who were in the original camp didn't want him to survive. A lot in the new camp wanted him to live. We tested it with audience, and it was literally down the middle for the people who wanted him to live versus die. So we're like, hey, we'll give you the best of both worlds. We're gonna have this ambiguous ending where you can choose your own adventure. So yes and no, he's alive, but there's an Extraction 2 coming out. Are we following Chris Hemsworth still, or are we gonna follow someone different?"
Maybe it's what's left of his team,
Mm-hmm.
and they reach out to someone that he was in a unit with.
Did you expect David
Um,
Harbour to be in this movie?
no,
I
and I'm
did
sitting
not
there going,
either.
"All right, look, we've got we've got Thor versus what the hell was his name?
Captain Russia or whatever he was. Captain. Oh
The
God, it's coming
red
to me. Oh, the Red Guardian. There we go.
the Red Guardian. Thor versus the Red Guardian. It was just, and it wasn't even Hemsworth that actually does him in. It's the kid.
Mm-mm. But to protect himself, he was smart. And then the kid having to
Yeah.
deal with that grief. Don't know how he goes right back to school after seeing his best friend die. Countless other people get killed. His caretaker, and then his new caretaker. I mean, he watched a lot of people die. That kid is seriously messed up.
We do find out though the person that had him kidnapped. You have that great scene in the bathroom at the
Yeah,
end
she just walks up and
where
shoots him.
she's in this nice dress, and at first he has this look on his face like, this woman's just followed me into the bathroom.
Right.
I'm about to get lucky. And then he sees the gun, and
Just blows his brains out and walks away.
yeah.
I don't know. I enjoyed this
Mm.
movie. I give it 4 stars, which is about B plus for me. I'm excited for the second one, so whenever that comes out.
Yeah, I came in about 3 stars. Eh, I wish that they had given us a little bit more at the beginning.
Mm,
And I know that was probably by design, but they jumped right into the story, and I think what they were banking on was, hey, everybody loves Chris Hemsworth.
right.
They're not going to want to see anything bad happen to him. We can just get right to it. And the feeling that we were already emotionally invested, but I wasn't.
Right.
I was like, I don't know where this is going. And then as you see what he's struggling with, you become emotionally invested. But I felt like they could have done a little bit better of a lead in
Mm-hmm.
to that part of the
Because he was
story.
just being
Um,
guns a blazing, don't care if I live or die. So
yeah, and we didn't have enough info at that point.
yeah.
And we really didn't. Did we ever get any answer on his spouse?
No, he just said that she left and he didn't know where she's at.
Yeah,
But I mean, the
yeah,
death of a child will do that, and I think they portrayed that. They kind of assumed the audience knew that, like the death of a child splits families apart.
right.
But again, they could have probably done that a little bit better.
They could have done. Yeah,
So
yeah. All right. Well, uh, next week, Underground 6.
mm-hmm.
This is Tyler's pick.
Ryan
Underground
Reynolds.
6 for Netflix. Um, before we get to the news, and this is the first Tyler's gonna hear this. I want to pitch an idea here, live as we record.
Okay.
Is that even a thing? Live as we record. Um, we're trying to come up with our October slate, right?
Okay.
So Tyler's nervous. Um, I was going to put a list of films together and send that your way,
Okay.
and then we can pick however many for people to choose from and put it out there on Twitter.
Do you want to do September and October for these movies? Start with, Underground 6 for next week, but starting with the week after,
If you want to do it that way.
and have like a 2 month run of Halloween stuff. Because Halloween's my favorite
We
holiday,
could.
so I could watch Halloween movies all the time.
We could, yeah. Do you want to, because some of these episodes are going to be light, do you want to do 2 films a week?
We'll have to, we could, we'll just have to see what these weeks look like. I know next week should be big for gaming, but we'll be doing Underground 6 anyways. We'll have to play with it though, off air
Okay.
with everything.
So there you go, folks. We just had a live discussion.
I know my
But
wife says she wants to pick some of the movies for Halloween.
okay.
I said, oh, okay. So,
So I'll send you a list,
okay.
and then you all work on a list on your end, and maybe we'll do like a Twitter tournament of sorts.
Right. Does decide
I don't know.
Halloween
We'll figure
Kills.
something out.
Let's
We're
see.
gonna leave it up to people to
Trying to
vote
decide
on.
when
Oh yeah,
Halloween
we
Kills
have
comes
to.
out.
What about Candyman?
Yeah, that comes out this week. It
Does
doesn't
it?
look too terribly terrifying, does it? October 15th for Halloween Kills.
Um, I don't know. It's hard to tell with reimaginings or remakes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, uh, the original Candyman, back when I was a tyke, spooked us a little bit. Tony Todd's great in that kind of role though too. So,
Yeah. So we'll see.
all right, on to the news. First up, I got my fancy new phone here, and things are loading like they should. First from BD over at comicbook.com.
This was a big story
Dominic,
that broke.
Yeah, Dominic Thorne's Riri Williams to debut in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Forever. Black Panther Wakanda Forever has added Dominique Thorne to its cast, the actress who will be playing Ironheart in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Thorne had previously been announced as the MCU's Riri Williams for the hero's self-titled Ironheart series coming to Disney Plus. Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige has confirmed to comicbook.com that Thorne will make her MCU debut as Ironheart ahead of the release of her self-titled series. His statement is, "We're shooting Black Panther Wakanda Forever right now, and the character of Riri Williams you will meet in Black Panther 2 first," Feige said in an interview surrounding the release of Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. She started shooting, I think, this week before her Ironheart series.
I'm so excited.
Hmm.
She's gonna be fun.
Hmm.
So I wonder if
Hmm.
it's this brings questions. Instead of it being Stark technology, I wonder if she works with the Wakandans,
Wakandan. It could be,
and
yeah.
that's how she.
Yeah.
Some I don't know how she gets into this. So I'm very curious because there's several ways they could. So I'm curious to see what
Hmm.
they do with it. But I'm excited. And when that news broke, like Twitter went crazy for it. So we'll see.
Yeah. Alrighty. And only two news items today. This one comes from MovieWeb.com and Jeremy Dick. Black Canary movie is happening at HBO Max with is it Smollett?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Sorry, I got Tyler
You're
mid
fine.
drink. A Black Canary movie is in the works after debuting in the role alongside Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn in Birds of Prey. Journey Smollett will reportedly return as Dinah Lance, aka Black Canary, in her own spin-off movie for HBO Max. Lovecraft Country creator Misha Green is also on board to write the screenplay with Sue Kroll of Birds of Prey producing under her Kroll and Company Entertainment banner. The project is in early development with no release date announced.
It's exciting. So another, so
Yeah,
they're continuing on with some of their characters, but a Black Canary story doesn't really get me hyped up though. So
no, I would kind of honestly like to see them do something on HBO Max as a series
mm-hmm.
with that character as opposed to a film.
Right,
I don't
yeah, the film's not really gonna get me excited. So we'll see.
know. Releases this week, we alluded to a while ago in the cinema. Candyman, August 27th.
Can the Candy
Don't
Man
say it.
come?
Don't say it three times.
Well, see, ours was when I was in. Was that yours when you were a kid? Was Candyman in the Mirror? Because when I was a kid, it was Bloody Mary.
Bloody Mary, Bell Witch, and then after the film came out, Candyman.
And we don't mess with Bell
And
Witch around here. Okay.
and and then of course there was everyone's favorite. Don't say it three times. Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice, of course. I will say that one 3 times. I'm